Kyle here from All Media Reviews. Not gonna do album of the year today, probably 1968, because I'm kind of up against the clock a little bit and need to get everything together. Of course, with that's one of the challenges with it. So probably tomorrow. Hopefully, can be up by tomorrow or the latest Wednesday. So, but did want to do a as brief as possible review of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame ceremony. By the way, I could just mention shout out to Scott from the Prague Corner. Been on the Prague stream every Sunday, every last two Sundays, and it's kind of it depends on scheduling and everything going on. We got this coming week. We're seeing Karen Carpenter, the documentary. So I'll probably do a review of that. So I don't know how much I'm gonna be able to be on this week, but they're doing ELP, but which would be good for me to talk about. But also I'm gonna be listening to ELP soon, anyways, because I want to be planning to do an ELP collaboration with Death by Unicorn in a few months. But anyway, yeah. So if you found me on there, found this channel from that, thank you very much for that. I love going and talking about Yes and everything. If you ever do Rush or you name it, Marillion, it'll be an easy topic, an easier topic for me even. But I love talking about Yes. But so getting back to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame ceremony, which took place. Speaking of Yes, who's in the Rock Hall, of course. This past weekend in Brooklyn, New York, the Barclays Center. My wife and I, my wife's massive George Michael fan, also big Sheryl Crow fan. I mentioned how we would want to try to go if the two of them got in, and they did get in, but we didn't go for various reasons. It was probably for the best. Costs and scheduling and convenience and everything. I mean, and I know they had some challenges selling tickets. This was sort of, I don't know. It's weird how the class of the Rock Hall was maybe the most eclectic or diverse from a standpoint of having female, like women in there, minorities in there, genres, except other than Kate Bush, there really wasn't any progressive stuff. And other than maybe Rage Against the Machine, there wasn't anything remotely like heavy or metal. But Link Ray I guess had an influence on metal. But so in that sense, it was what the criticisms of the Rock Hall couldn't really be given to this. But I saw a lot of stuff leading up to the ceremony. I think how they struggled. There was just a lack of interest in the ceremony this year for whatever reason. So we didn't go, of course. So we did watch it on Disney Plus. It's going to be on ABC in a couple months, like a New Year's Day, an abridged, edited version. The version that was on Disney Plus, it's still up there. I believe you can stream. It's like almost 4.5 or 5 hours. So, but given the fact we didn't go and how the ceremony turned out, who was there and everything, I think we dodged a bullet a little bit from a cost standpoint because it wasn't the best ceremony, to be honest. It just wasn't that great. The one real kind of surprise impression I was given was to see Jimmy Page there, unannounced, do that tribute to Link Ray. And I'm not even a Link Ray fan, but, I love Zeppelin, and, this might be the last time Jimmy Page ever plays in front of an audience. Last appearance on television, who knows? But that brought a smile to me. Not hearing him play. I think it's called the Rumble or something like that. New Edition doing the tribute to the Spinners. That was fine, I guess. Having Big Boy, present Kate Bush. Yeah, I mean, the Outcast, they had their share of kind of sort of, experimental stuff. It wasn't just pure, R&B, hip-hop, music. So you can sort of see why he would be a fan of Kate Bush. I mean, it was good to have someone that you wouldn't expect in some ways talk about someone like that, I guess. So I didn't have a problem. St. Vincent, I have my sort of history with, and there are other people that I probably would have preferred. But, she's sort of token. I'm sure by the points she's eligible, she'll be very likely to get in or get nominated. Um, Cheryl Crow, there could have been other people to do the tribute. I mean, her speech wasn't short, but no mention of Kevin, of course, but I was hoping maybe she would. Um, but you know, I give her a pass. It was fine. It was nice to finally get in. And she was the focus of. She was played with Willie. Now the thing is, you do think of Willie Nelson, you think of her. No, but she had this opportunity to jam. You know, Willie Nelson being in. You know, it's like a, you know, lifetime achievement kind of thing. I mean, everyone loves Willie Nelson, and obviously his age is what it is at 90 years old. But it was just kind of underwhelming. And Peter Frampton doing the jam with Cheryl, and then Dave Matthews' speech about Willie Nelson was not sure. I wonder if he swallowed some pride about that, given the fact that Dave Matthews' band won the fan vote in 2020 and they didn't get in. The only time it's ever happened. Now, I'm not much of a Dave Matthews Band fan. I like Tim Reynolds, but they should have been in, and I sympathize with him, and you know, just kind of like how you had Missy Elliott get in, and she referenced, I think one of the Salt and Pepper. Pepper was there. Why were Salt and Pepper? She should have said, you know what? They came before me. They were the first real female rappers. You know, they really should be in here too right now. Yeah, I didn't hate her performance. She did a really good performance ending the whole thing, but I just don't find her music super memorable, super sort of engaging. I much prefer Salt and Pepper, but you know, is she the worst? No, I mean, I would rather listen to Missy Elliott over some other female rappers, I suppose, but like Lil' Kim or something. But you know, I'll give her credit that she felt like, you know, very much a youngin' there, and you know, trying to give homage to the, you know, the people that came before her, including Queen Latifah, who presented for her. And George Michael's, you know, Andrew Ridgeley, very classy. I liked his speech. I liked the montage somewhat for the most part. Although they didn't have anything about the Keanu scene. With Andrew Ridgeley would have been funny. But Miguel, Adam Levine, and Carrie Underwood, really? No. And the fact Elton John was there, and he didn't do anything. That to me was kind of a missed opportunity. You know, this might be the last sort of kind of unique official tribute to George Michael we get. I mean, there might be something down the road, but between the Grammys, you know, and a couple other times, I don't know. They could have had Mariah Carey. There's other people they could have had. I don't know, but what can you do? I think part of having people like Miguel and Carrie Underwood on there, and Levine, is because there's other people they were maybe talking to that just didn't do it. But again, the Elton John thing, because he presented and, you know, inducted Bernie Taupin, I don't know. I mean, maybe because he just felt like, I want to focus on Bernie. I love George, but I've said my piece about George. I've done tributes to George already. Even though he could do, you know, that song that they did the duet, when the sun going out, whatever, you know, don't let the sun go down on me. So yeah, I mean, that Rage Against the Machine, Tom Morello, the other members of Rage Against the Machine didn't show up. Doesn't surprise me. They didn't have like a musical tribute. Having Ice-T induct them was okay, but it was all about Tom Morello seemed like a politician in that speech rather than, you know, although I'll give it to them as that system. I think Serge was on there on the little montage beforehand about Rage Against the Machine. System of a Down quite possibly will get in the next 10 years. Faith No More, again, I said it back in February whenever we saw the nominees. Faith No More came before them. Faith No More is due. Faith No More had a hit. They're not like an unknown band, and their influence is clear. But I was hoping they might show Mike Patton, but Mike Patton probably doesn't really care about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame either. But neither probably did Zappa. You know, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, what else they had? That hip hop again. 50 years of hip hop. 50 years of hip hop. Okay, whatever. Then there's 100 years of rock and roll. Rap. The first rap was, to me, it's not 50 years. It'd be like 40 some. You know, Rapper's Delight. You know, Sugar Hill Gang. You know, Run DMC. The thing that happened. You know, that guy was a DJ, whatever. But 50 years of hip hop. No one knew about that until about 3 years ago when they started making that documentary, I bet. But, you know, it also kind of leads to, like, who could be coming next. You know, of course, normally before a couple of years ago, we used to always get the nominations around this time of year. It was usually like late September, early October, and then the votes and then the announcement who gets in would be in about a month, around before Christmas. We got to wait basically till February, so we have the next 3-4 months. I know the committee or whatever are going to get together sometime after the beginning of the year. So, Jan Wenner not being involved at all, supposedly. I know that for sure, but he's not on the nomination committee. He's not on the board anymore. Maybe finally something will change for the Monkees, and let's hope. Jethro Tull. You go down the list, of course. Iron Maiden, of course. Well, Iron Maiden, if they get in, if they don't get nominated, will they end up going in the way that Shaka Khan? Yeah. By the way, Shaka Khan, of course, it's not the first time she's ever sort of slurred some of the verses and forgotten lyrics. She's my wife linked me to a video from about 30 some odd years ago where she was like totally on point, and it's great that she got in finally. We don't have to think about her and Link Ray anymore. The MC5 need to get put in the same way. The artists like Sting, artists that have been on the ballot multiple times that just, Kate Bush would have probably as well. But yeah, I mean, you name the list. Could we finally get NXS in? Could we finally get Huey Lewis and the News in? Is Coldplay, because they're eligible next year, going to be a shoe-in? Are we going to get the White Stripes, of course? Cyndi Lauper, she was close. She'll probably get in next couple of years, probably if not this coming year. So I don't know. It's always fun to talk about, and it's good fodder. I know people that are totally into the Rock Hall stuff much deeper than I am that worry about it. But what did you think of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame ceremony? I mean, both people think a lot of people on YouTube think it's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's a joke, of course. But if you do care at all, what did you think? Did you think you had the same kind of thoughts? I mean, the criticisms I had about it, at least seeing Jimmy Page, was that something? Who am I thinking that got in? Al Cooper. I was happy to see him. He did the solo on like Rolling Stone, and he's a guy that has done producing and playing on a lot of records. The Who's, was it Tommy? I think it was Tommy, or no, Who's Next? So, Won't Get Fooled Again, that's him, I believe. I don't know if I don't know if Townsend played that extended keyboard part, but I think they said he was a member of Chicago at one point, but anyway, it's cool that he got in. I just think that the fact they put in like 10, 11 people, but yet they only had 5 or 6 performers get in, or maybe it was 7. That's their kind of way of getting some of these people in. It's better than nothing, but it's not proper. The way that Judas Priest got in, the way that LL Cool J got in, the way that, now that Shaka Khan got in, and Link Ray. I don't know. This 4.5 hour ceremony translates. They can do it in one night and put in 10 artists at least. But I still think it would be more proper to actually have them as performers. But I don't know, everyone's gonna come up with an argument and complain about stuff. It's easy to do that. So, but anyway, again, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and we'll see you next time.